bloody fantastic. Please put your hands together for Mr. Mark Cram.
I'll tell you about the funniest thing I saw at the Edinburgh Festival. It wasn't any acts, it was two homeless guys standing next to each other. The first one had a sign that said hungry, the next one had a sign that said hungry, so I made this sign. You are quite right to laugh, that is genius. So it's good to be here at St Albans, performing in what I can only assume is a garage conversion, I'm horribly wrong. It is nice to be anywhere though, because I'm from a little town up the road called Milton Keynes. Do you all know Milton Keynes? I judge by the reaction that you get. I think Milton Keynes can be summed up in one event, okay? It was the day that Joe Swash came to open our Poundland and 3,000 people went to watch. I want to talk to you tonight about my best friend. Do you want to hear about my best friend? Yeah! Has anyone else got a best friend? You know the sort of friend that you're not in love with, but you know when they're not around, you miss them. That sort of level of best friend, you all know that? Yeah. Yeah. Have you got a best friend? What's your best friend's name? Matt. Hello. Did someone want to be more than friends, did we learn? I mean, Matt, this is a really good opportunity for you to tell her how you feel.
We'll do that later, I reckon. I may regret that comment.
Are you actually a couple, is that true? Oh, I don't feel like I've outed this one. Okay, well, I'll tell you, my best friend's name is Gary, okay? And me and Gary grew up together. We met at school. In fact, we met in my first lesson in my new school. And my first lesson in my new school was a music lesson. And this was also the day that I discovered I have the most boring name in the world. Okay, basically it was a music lesson where you had to clap the syllables of your name. So what's your name? Sarah. Jones. So you'd be Sarah Jones. What's your name? Sorry?
Carrot.
Tracy.
McCarrick.
Tracy McCarrick. That's right. And they'd get round to me, and I'd just go, Mark Cram. At which point the music teacher would say, why don't you all try spicing it up a little bit? Why don't you all try putting your middle names in there? So clap your middle name for me. Full name, go.
Sarah Kimberly Jones.
Hey! Mark James. It didn't really get any better, did it? Because me and Gary had a weird relationship at school. Because at school I was doing really academically well. I was expected to do really well in life. I haven't. Gary, on the other hand, is studying for a PhD in nanotechnology. Ooh. Yeah. He used to get his willy out in English and show it to people. So it just goes to show you never know how people are going to turn out. What was worse about that is that we were studying Shakespeare in English at the time. So we go, hey Cram, look, I'm shaking my spear. PhD in nanotechnology. We worked together as well for a while. We worked in a summer job at a children's theme park in Milton Keynes that I'm no longer allowed to name for legal reasons. But let's call it Lulliver's Game. And if you can't crack that code, I can't help you. Now, we used to laugh about the ridiculous things that happened there. For instance, our boss came round to us one day and said to us, okay guys, since it's not very busy, to entice children onto your ride, that's right, he said entice when talking about children. To entice children onto your ride, I want to say something like this. If you're on a teacup, so I want you to say, hi, would you like to ride my teacups? If you're on the Ferris wheel, I want you to say, hi, would you like to ride my Ferris wheel? Yeah. Our roller coaster was called the Python. There is no good way to say to an 8-year-old girl, you
Enjoying yourself today, sweetheart? You having a good time? Ah, did you meet Dora the Explorer, did you? Do you, do you want to come over here and ride my python?
That is how you get a concussion from an angry dad. But me and Gary was also the person who gave me my first ever try of drugs. Anyone here use drugs? Not in St Albans. Milton Keynes, that gets a much more positive reaction. Basically, I'll give you some advice since you have tried drugs. One of the worst places to do drugs is on a train. Okay? Because when you're rocking backwards and forwards, stoned off your arse, and then you hear the announcement over the tannoy,
we will be arriving in Northampton at 1847.
Your stone little brain thinks, wow, it's a fucking time machine. We've all been there, it's horrendous. I do have another drugs joke, but I don't use it because it's not a very good joke. But I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because I like you guys. Basically, it goes like this, okay? I always think I've got more weed than I've actually got. I've got delusions of ganja. Fuck yes, that happened! Come on! See why I don't use it? My eyes are moving, did you say? I'm not a painting. I'm actually alive, but they will move. Oh dear. Now basically, I'll tell you what happened. Me and Gary's relationship started to sour a little bit, okay? Because I came out to Gary as a bisexual. That's right, I'm a bisexual. You guys have accepted it better than I did a gig in the village of Dinton the other day. There was actually a pantomime gasp. And later there was a Muslim comic on called Alex. They didn't like that either. But you guys were a lot nicer than that, so it's good. But yeah, basically, I came out as bisexual. But I don't really have any bisexual traits, any gay traits. For instance, the only gay traits I really have is that number one, I can't throw. And number two, I judge cars in the way that the BNP judges people. Purely by their colour. I came out to my... basically, Alex's reaction was one of the worst. My worst reaction was from my nan, strangely enough. She came down the stairs one morning going to me, Mark, you remember how you were a bisexual? I'm like, yeah, I vaguely recall. And she just said, yeah, I had a dream that you got better. It's a lovely thing to hear from you. Yeah, but Gary and me started, basically what happened was, I could sense it was getting, basically, what's your name again, sorry?
Matt.
Matt, come here, Matt. Matt, come up here. Basically,